All right, this is your man, Sir Earl, coming at you again, another podcast. Today is Sunday, March 29th, last Sunday in March, and we're here again. Hope everybody is safe, staying in, paying attention to the staying home warning that they're giving. Me personally, I've still continued my day just as it's always been. I still open my club. We have a one-on-one studio, so we don't have as many people as the open gym. And just certain things don't make sense to me, so I choose to use my own discretion. And if that's not in accordance, then I'll deal with that if and when it happens. They can open up gun shops and liquor stores, but I can't have a place where people can come and be healthy and build up their immune system and all those things. We do keep everything sanitized. It's only a small personal training studio of about 3,000 square feet. Um, so far so good. We've had people that want to come in. They tired of sitting in the house. They think as I think, and that's that. If you could have liquor stores open, you should be able to have gyms open. I noticed that the speeches that the governor and the mayor are giving are not done from their homes, so they're out, they're doing things. So hey, they're human just like me. So I choose to I use discretion. I wipe down things. I wash my hands all the time. I try to follow the protocol, and it was so far so good. Like I said. So anyway, um, today I wanted to do a podcast based on the two habits. You have extraordinary habits and you have ordinary habits. People have a tendency to want to blame um, things on when you're successful. They say, "Hey, these people had help. Somebody helped them out. They gave them money. They did this. They did that. They're lucky." And it's really not. It has to do with the habits and the mindset. Your habits form your mindset. And I'll use certain examples. You don't see A student training with a D student. They have to most likely have two different study habits, and you don't see eagles hanging out with chickens. They're two different type of birds. They follow two different sets of habits, and they just don't go together. You don't see winners hanging with losers. It's a reason for that. It's not because they look upon them as if they're better. It's just that they choose to keep a positive mindset. They choose to incorporate habits that will guide them in one way, and that's towards success. So, my podcast today will be based on it's called Extraordinary versus Ordinary. You can never be extraordinary with ordinary habits. It's not going to happen. If I am a recovering alcoholic, I can't hang out at the bar with my buddies who still drink and expect to have success at avoiding alcohol. It's not going to happen. So if I want to be successful, I want to hang out with successful people and talk about successful things. Um, the habits are always different. The talk is different. The outlook is different, and they just don't go together. So a lot of people assume we come to being in a personal training business. You learn a lot about people's habits and things, and you run across people who they say they want to achieve a look that they want to have, but yet they say, well, I don't want to eat right. Or better yet, they're hanging out with other people that don't have their goals and things in mind. So my suggestion is always hang out with like-minded people. I choose not to hang out or be around people who are talking about negative things. They're all around 98% of the population of people, which there's 8 billion people on earth, they think from a negative sense. And they may not think they're thinking that way, but that's just the way their mindset works. I don't believe that life, we're circumstances of life. I believe we create our own circumstances. And in doing that, that is done by daily, consistent habits. There's not a meteor that comes out of the sky and strikes you, and all of a sudden you have this great success or anything like that. A lot of successful people have failed in life in terms of going after their goals and not getting them, or trying a business and you know failing. One of the things that most successful or extraordinary people have, they don't believe in the word quit. They believe that they say Thomas Edison tried 10,000 ways to make the light bulb. And one time a writer said, "How did you feel about failing 10,000 times?" And he said, "I didn't fail 10,000 times. I just found 10,000 ways that it's not going to work. But this one way that I discovered on my 10,001st try does work. So I didn't fail 10,000 times. I found out 10,000 ways that this idea would not work." So it's just a different in mindset. Some people look at, oh, he had 10,000 failures. They probably would have quit on the second failure, if that long. And it's just a different mindset. It's there's an old Chinese proverb that says, those who believe they can and those who believe they can't are both usually right. If you don't think you can do something, chances are you'll never do it. There's a book that I'm reading, and it's a very, very good book, and I suggest a lot of people get it. It's called Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, the same guy that wrote the book Think and Grow Rich. It's called Outwitting the Devil. And what that does is that the book is about him interviewing the devil of having lapses in his way of thinking after he wrote the book Get Rich and Die Trying. And remind you, this book was written in 1938. And it shows those little things that we think don't make a difference. They're ordinary ways of thinking. Watching TV all the time, watching the news all the time, which is a very negative experience. Procrastination is a big one. I can't begin to tell you how many people that have said, "I'm going to do this" or "I'm going to do that," only to never do anything. They're waiting on the perfect time, and the time will never be perfect. You will never have a perfect time to do anything. So procrastination is a weapon that is used. It's just another form of fear. They are afraid to get started, or I've had several people who felt, well, I'm going to set up my business to where there is no possibility that it's going to fail. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to open up. I'm not going to have any debt. I'm going to get this degree. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And within a year, they're out of business, because it's not all those things that achieve success. It's the mindset. It's having extraordinary thoughts and habits. And what that leads to is, when things are not going right, you think in a positive mindset. And anytime you approach a situation or a problem with a positive mindset, you think of it in ways to have a positive outcome. So those are little things. People believe that you can still be successful by being lazy. That's not going to happen. It would never happen. That's a form of procrastination. Ordinary people think that they can not eat right and still get in shape. They want to take this pill, this class, that class, this boot camp, this, and that. There's a right way to do things, and there's a wrong way to do things. The right way is the extraordinary way. If I'm telling you to go downtown and you're in the south suburbs and you need to head north, and I tell you, hey, go to 94 and head north, and you'll run into downtown. Well, you go to 94 and you decide you want to go south. I don't care how fast you go, how determined you are not going to reach downtown. It's not that way. It's the same scenario as people who believe that they can reach extraordinary heights with ordinary habits, and that will never work. People that achieve success, and success to me is things that make you happy. It's not my meaning of it. It's not predicated on money. It's predicated on what makes you happy and your ability to do what you want, when you want, and how you want. Um, I don't tell everybody they should be an entrepreneur. Obviously, there's some people that are entrepreneurs that shouldn't even be entrepreneurs. They don't have the temperament or the mindset to become an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur, it's a lonely profession. The buck stops with you. You are the one. Everything is your fault. So if you got a habit of blaming other people for everything else, you're not going to be very successful because it starts and ends with you. It's all your fault. And if you don't adhere to that, um, you're not going to make it. And that's the mindset of you have to put out every fire and you have to fix every problem. And some people just don't have the makeup to do that. They don't want that responsibility. Um, so it doesn't work for them. It's a different mindset. It's like, I've counseled or talked to or took part in, let's say, 20 plus people who wanted to open up the same type of business that I have, or any type of business. And they're all the same. Everything about business is the same, it's universal. Out of 20 businesses that I helped, out of 20 people that I helped start a business, out of 20, 18 is closed already. Um, One is about to close, and the other one is not doing well at all. So it's not easy. I don't have a magic formula for it. It's just that I believe that what I was meant to do, I was meant to do. And the only thing that will stop me from doing what I do is death. I mean, that's the only thing that will prevent me from striving to be the best at what I do. It's not going to be conditions, it's not going to be bills, it's not going to be losing money, it's not going to be working hard, it's never going to be those things. I'm not going to quit because of those. I've been through them. And I understand that they are just a part of this whole equation of entrepreneurship. So, if you want to be extraordinary, if you want to do things, they may be things that's not related to owning a business. You may want to be a student that get A's and graduate on time. Well, you're not going to get A's and graduate on time if you're not doing your homework. If you're hanging out with the people that love to party and don't do their homework, then that's what you're going to get. You're going to not get great grades because it is not your focus and your priority. In order to achieve that level that you want to achieve, that has to be your focus and it has to be your priority. If you want to be a student, if you want to be the best worker at your job, if you want to be a business owner, if you want to be a great parent, whatever that goal is, that has to be your number one focus. And, you know, just like married people shouldn't take advice from single people, it's because the mindset is different. If you're married, talk to people. Like, I have a habit of I've been in a 16-year relationship, and I talk to people, my clients that have been married 60 years, 70 years. I don't want to talk to somebody who couldn't keep a relationship for 6 months. The advice is going to be totally different. If my goal is to stay married for the long haul for the rest of my life, then I need to talk to someone that has been there, done that. They will be able to help me if I listen and if I take that advice. And I want to be extraordinary within my marriage. I have to listen to people that has had an extraordinary marriage, not people that go out, cheat on their spouse, only been together 6 months, don't, trust each other, arguing all the time. Those are not the people you need to get advice from. So my message today, if you want to be extraordinary, get around extraordinary people and limit your they don't have you don't have to stop being friends with them, but limit the people who have the mindset different from yours. They don't want to achieve high levels of things. They don't want to accomplish anything significant. They don't want to rise above their situation, and they'll be the first to tell you, "Oh, girl, you all right? Don't worry about it." I mean, we have clients that are fat. I mean, these people are out of shape, and someone bigger than them says, "Girl, why you need to lose weight? You look great." And these people take that advice and they start to feel like, okay, well, I don't look too bad. Too bad compared to what? If I have $100, $1,000 in my bank account, I can't compare myself to a millionaire because he has $1 million in his bank account. So, you see these people, especially with the use of Instagram now. These people lose 4 pounds and they want to get a phone camera and jump in front of a picture and post it on Instagram and Facebook. Well, to people that don't know you, you still look like you need to lose another 40 pounds. You don't look as good as what you think you look. You may look better, but the goal was not to look better. The goal was to achieve the goal in which you had, not just to look better. Take pictures when you get to your goal. Stop accepting. We have people who they eat right for a week, and the first thing that they want to do is treat themselves. Treat yourself for what? Eating right. That's just like when my son was in school, to bring home an A. You're not going to get a reward for that. That's your job, is to bring home an A. You clean up your room. What am I going to get? You got a clean room. I'll let you stay in my house. So, you have to stop looking at a reward for doing the things that you should be doing. That's the ordinary way of thinking. So we have to start thinking extraordinary. We have to start striving for things that are above where we are. We have to change who we are. We have to become a different person. And we have to change our mindset and thoughts, and those that we talk to or be around that want to keep us at the level that we're at. You're never going to go to a new level with people that want to keep you at the level that you're at. So until next week, this is your man, Sir Earl, signing out. Ask you to join me again next week. And until that time, peace.